What's good, YouTube? It's your boy back with another video, man. Back with another banger, y'all. And we got a new video, man. I don't move myself up here so I don't see the lights, but yeah, we got a new video. It's by Andy Hoops. It says NBA stars stuck in hopeless situations. I saw Blake Griffin in the thumbnail, that's why I clicked on it. And obviously Blake Griffin plays for my Pistons, so let's see what he thinks. See if he thinks we're hopeless or not. Which I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because we are.
I make one of these videos every single year. The seasons come and go, but one thing remains constant. There will always be bad teams, and there will always be superstars stuck on those bad teams. It's sad to see players as talented as these guys waste away their prime. Just imagine if they were drafted or traded into a different situation. They've got all the talent to succeed, all the skills necessary to flourish, and yet they don't have much to show for it in terms of team success. On their respective teams, they haven't found the success they strive for, definitely not what their talent commands. How's it going, folks? My name's Andy, and today, in this video, let's talk about 7 NBA players who are stuck in hopeless situations.
Mason Plumlee, this dude been on a million.
What does the future look like for these players and the teams they're on? Is there any way they can change in the foreseeable future? But before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsor, Fubo TV.
Nice.
If you're one of 80 million Americans who are fed up with paying high prices for cable TV, this is
Anyway,
FuboTV.com/AndyHoops to start your free trial. Number 7, Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine?
The Chicago Bulls. The
Bro,
team
he's
that
not a
won
superstar. And they're about to make the playoffs this year.
fewer than 30 games in 3 consecutive seasons. They're in a weird spot in the sense that not only are their young players very questionable, but their management, their front office, especially during the Jim Boylen years, there seems to be no connection between the coach and players. While LaVine has been absolutely tearing it up and became the designated franchise player, it was mostly out of necessity. Lauri Markkanen struggled in his third season. Wendell Carter Jr. did not make the jump he was expected to. Otto Porter Jr. was a great acquisition from the Wizards, but he's been injured and underachieving. Then there's Kobe White, a complete wildcard. Nobody knows if this young core of players can actually develop and lead the Bulls somewhere, at least a fringe playoff team if that's even possible.
They have a nice little young core.
All of this losing has gotten to LaVine. After just winning 22 games, he stated, "I've been in the NBA 6 years now, and it just gets frustrating. I want to be in the playoffs. I haven't played in a playoff game and it wears on you. That's what you work so hard for and continue to play for."
I can see that.
Stream live and on-demand TV, now including these favorites. YouTube,
be sure to like and subscribe. I'm take this time to like and subscribe.
It's safer to be
And
thrown
yeah.
out than to be trapped
I don't know how
inside.
to edit this
This
out.
is very
so
upsetting.
whatever.
LaVine has literally never been on a winning team for his entire career thus
Right,
far.
this dude's in
It
the
might be the same
Timberwolves.
story here. I don't see much of a future for the Bulls, unfortunately, but hey, at least he got paid.
Yeah, that's
Number
true.
6, Blake
You can't
Griffin.
complain that much. You're getting millions and millions
It
of
almost
dollars,
seems
bro.
like Griffin is destined to stay on this list forever. Ever since going to Detroit, his career has basically fallen into the void.
Hey,
No longer is he the same recognizable face we've known for so long in LA. No longer is he the hyper-athletic dunk contest champion that made him famous in the first place. In the 2018-19 season, despite being, in my opinion, the most complete version of himself we've ever seen,
Yes,
the
sir.
Pistons have been in no man's land for many years.
yeah.
Unfortunately, the 2020 campaign was rough for him, as Griffin underwent season-ending knee surgery, and we're not sure how he'll be when he returns.
Yeah, you know how much money he got for sitting on the bench while getting that much money? I mean, just forget.
Either way, it feels like
Just
he
forget it,
wasted
bro.
the last few years
I was
in
about
his
to say, you know how
prime
much
in a
money he
hopeless
made
situation, and
by
it's
getting
possible his
surgery
most
and sitting on
recent
the bench the
injury
whole
is
year?
so severe he won't recover.
30-something
Even if he
million
does, this is a lost
for not
cause,
playing any minutes.
especially since he's now on the wrong side of 30. The best I can see the Pistons doing is being a low playoff seed, but even so, is that really worth it?
No, it's not worth it.
To see the latter part of Griffin's career end up like this, it's pretty damn rough.
The Pistons are good.
Number 5, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, he needs to get traded, man. No
Seems
cap.
like DeRozan fell off the face of the earth after getting traded to San
He
Antonio.
did, bro. No one even
In
recognized
Toronto,
him anymore.
remember how much everyone talked about him? A lot of positive comments, a lot of negative ones for his putrid playoff performances. Regardless, everyone paid attention to him and the Raptors.
Yeah.
But now, in San Antonio, it's almost like he vanished. The Spurs haven't done very well since the Kawhi trade.
It's because they're not bad, but they're not good. So they just get, no one talks about them. Just like the Pistons. No one talks about us.
They just missed the playoffs for the first time since 1997. The funny thing is, DeRozan is playing better than ever. The one thing everyone always knocked him for was his efficiency and his bad habits of chucking shots. But now, in San Antonio, he's been picking and choosing his spots much better, and his efficiency skyrocketed.
Really? I had no idea.
Despite him
'Cause I don't
playing
watch
better
Spurs
than
games.
ever, it's gone
And neither does anyone
completely
else.
unnoticed. Part of
Yeah.
it is because he's playing for a small market team. Part of it is because he's now on a mediocre team with no
Right.
chance of contending
Exactly, that's what I
anytime
said.
soon. Like really, who else do they have? An aging LaMarcus Aldridge and
Who else
Rudy
do they
Gay,
have?
a
No one.
stagnant DeJounte Murray, a couple of other young role players who probably won't develop into stars.
Yeah.
Lonnie
you're right.
Walker seems to have lost all his power after getting a haircut. For the first time in a long time, the Spurs are in trouble.
Right.
Number 4, Bradley Beal, and number 3, well, it was John Wall, but I guess now it's Russell Westbrook.
2
Maybe
and
it's
1.
too early to make this judgment. Despite
Bro,
acquiring Westbrook,
I don't know,
it's still
man. They
up
might
in the
make the
air whether or
playoffs,
not
but-
this Wizards team can make an actual playoff push.
They're not gonna make a push.
But from my
They're
point
gonna
of
make
view,
the playoffs,
I
but
don't
they're gonna
think
get
so.
bounced
It's
out
gonna
the
be
first
similar
round.
to before with Wall,
You know what
but
I'm
at least
saying? Like, they're
Westbrook
getting
can stay
bounced
healthy.
out by the
I
Bucks
put them on the
or
list
by
more
the
so
goddamn
because
Heat.
of their recent years in
You know
the
what I'm
near
saying? They're not gonna
past.
put up a fight because
Any-
Bam is gonna lock up
57.
Thomas Bryant and
58,
gonna do nothing
59.
at all.
60. That's
'Cause
for
he never does anything.
Anyway,
'cause
let's
he
rewind a
doo-doo.
bit.
He do.
Remember a time when the Wizards looked like the new up-and-coming team of the East? When a young John Wall and Bradley Beal were crushing expectations,
Yep.
exceeding what everyone believed the Wizards were capable of. In the 2014 playoffs, they stunned the Bulls in a dominant 5-game series. In 2015, they swept the favored Toronto Raptors. In 2017, they were 1 game away from the
Yeah.
Eastern Conference Finals.
I remember that game. That
It was
a
the best
legendary
season
game.
they've had since the 1970s.
This is a legendary game.
We
bro.
expected
Game
them to
7,
build from
Washington
it,
versus
to progress
Boston.
even further and perhaps even challenge LeBron's Cavaliers. But things quickly
Marcin
changed.
Gortat.
A combination of injuries, poor management, and even overconfidence
center.
has shattered the young upstart
That's
team.
tough.
As for Beal, he's been carrying the load during Wall's absence.
Yeah.
In the time when Wall was struggling with injuries, Beal rose into stardom, making 2 All-Star teams, and became the man
Bro,
on
he
the
should have
team,
made one this
averaging
year, bro.
over
He should have
30
made it over Chris Middleton, bum butt. His bum self. He should have made it over Chris Middleton, bro.
points a game with a head full of
Or
steam.
DeMontis Sabonis. Or Rudy
Unfortunately,
Gobert. Rudy
their
Gobert.
situation now is very awkward. They
How
got
you
a bunch of
average
young
30 and
guys
not
with
make the All-Star
upside,
team?
but now with the arrival
That's
of
beyond
Westbrook,
me.
will his usage rate also come with him? I fear this will lead to a situation where you have another 2-man show, this time with Westbrook and Beal.
No, but
It'll
Beal is
be
a better
interesting to
off-ball
see
player,
what the
though, 'cause he
Wizards
can catch
do,
and shoot.
but as of now, with both Beal and Westbrook's massive contracts, with a questionable supporting cast, there's a very limited ceiling to this team. Number 2, Karl Anthony Towns.
Bro, they got D'Lo now, man.
For a short time
And they
there,
got
it
Anthony
looked like
Edwards.
the Wolves were getting somewhere.
But
Back
they
in
are getting
2018, with the arrival of Jimmy Buckets,
Andrew
the young
Wiggins.
squad finally had the leadership and veteran presence to
I
push
forgot
them
he played
over
for
the top.
Timberwolves, bro.
Or at least that was
He's
supposed
on
to
the Heat,
happen.
man. It seems like
What
he never
really
even played for
happened was that
Timberwolves.
Butler was too alpha for Cat and Wiggins, who were more laid back and more go with the flow type of guys.
You're right.
Reportedly, Butler had numerous interactions with them in
This
practice,
Wiggins look
calling them
homeless,
soft,
man.
saying they don't work as hard as he does, and he realized that he didn't want to be a part of this team. The Butler experiment in Minnesota ended very quickly, and now the Wolves are back in purgatory. The 2020 season was atrocious, as they only managed
Really?
19 wins. Cat
Are you
continued his
serious?
individual
19
excellence,
wins?
but
I thought they
without
were
a
better than
proper
that.
supporting cast
No
and
wonder
a
they got the
brand new
first overall pick.
inexperienced coach.
I
The
thought you just got
future is
lucky.
dim.
19?
A mid-season trade saw Wiggins get swapped for D'Angelo Russell. A great move, actually. A
is a
change of
good
scenery for both of them was very much needed.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Malik Beasley from Denver was an absolute steal. A pleasant surprise who played so well in a short time.
Yeah, that's true.
This
And they
new
got
trio
Anthony
of
Edwards.
Cat, Russell, and Beasley certainly has more potential than all those years with Cat plus Wiggins. But is it enough? In a hyper-competitive Western Conference, they'll need a lot more than just that. The entire roster needs a lot of work, and it kinda seems like they just started rebuilding again. And number 1, Damian Lillard.
And Damian Lillard don't care about
might say-
playoffs. Bro, he don't care about winning or nothing. He just...
Oh, why Lillard? The Blazers have been making the playoffs frequently, and they even reached the Western Conference Finals in 2019. How is this a hopeless situation?
Because they're bad.
Well-
They make the playoffs, but they're not actually good. They get carried by Lillard, bro. Let's be honest here.
Well, from my point of view, the Blazers looked like they already reached their peak.
They
They
did.
spent so many years struggling to make a deep run with a roster that doesn't change much from year to year.
Exactly, bro.
2019 was the exception,
They have
not the norm.
Maurice Harkless
The norm for the Blazers is to finish around a mid to low playoff seed
long
and then
time.
get bounced in the first or second round. Even with Lillard's best season of his entire career, they still managed a losing record. Over the years, we've seen the franchise attempt to build around Lillard and CJ McCollum. They needed defense, so they got Trevor Ariza. They needed better big men, so they got Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside. They needed a third and fourth option who can create their own shot. So they got Rodney Hood and Carmelo Anthony, I guess?
Bro, Rodney
But
Hood,
even
no. You
with
need
all
an
of these
actual good
changes in
player,
recent
bro.
years, desperately trying to fill the gaps, they haven't
The
gotten
Blazers
any
just
better.
make me mad, bro.
On
They're
paper,
just
the
too
Blazers
satisfied.
should be much better than how they actually play.
They're wasting Damian Lillard's
To be
prime,
stuck
bro.
in the same
This
spot
dude's
for
a
so
real
long,
superstar.
with Lillard's prime years withering away, at least he loves playing in Portland, and
Right,
made
for
it
some
known he
reason.
wants to play his entire career there. For Blazers fans, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, it would just look weird for
Anyway,
Damian
that's
Lillard to
all,
be in a
folks.
different
Those were
jersey, bro.
7.
That's it for the video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. Peace out.